All right, I believe we are live. Hey, everybody, this is Fadia Thompson, one of your executive directors in Team Elite. We wanted to do this training as leaders, and you'll probably see one or two more jump into the panel when they become available, to really focus on getting back to the system, the basics of the basics. We always tell everybody to plug into the system, but based on, what myself and other leaders have discussed, we probably need to go back and fine tune some things as well as go over some things in a little bit more detail just to help our team move forward with the next level. We are in our 90-day blitz. Some of us are just starting, like myself, don't judge me. But this is going to help us, all duplicate and grow a lot faster. I'm going to go ahead and start off by asking the two gentlemen on the panels to introduce themselves, state your rank, how long you've been with the business, and anything else that you want to share with your team. Gentlemen, I'll start with you, Mr. Tony Ganther, because I don't think they've ever heard from you before.
Yes, how's it going, everybody? My name is Tony Ganther. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm a director in the company as of right now, going to executive next week. Don't believe me, just watch. But I've been in the company for about 4 months. I just got started in the industry completely. I've been in the industry for 9, but just trying to grow a organization of go-getters and teaching my people to duplicate, whether it's at a slow pace or a fast pace. Duplication is the key.
I completely agree with you, Mr. Ganther. It's been a pleasure working with you for the past 4 months. Uh, okay, I know we shared with them, that you're a director and things of that nature. Well, let me ask you this, Tony, just a quick question. And I'm asking this question because I remember Mr. Drake, when I put you on the line with him, asking this question just to get an idea of where you're at. What's been your highest grossing month in this industry so far?
In the industry total,
Hmm.
before total life changes.
Just whatever month was the highest for you, income-wise, if you don't mind me asking.
Okay, well, before total life changes, I never seen over 5,000 total in the company. But my first month in total life changes, I actually touched a little over 3,500.
That's awesome. So I just want to show you all what kind of hidden talent we have here on Team Elite. The next gentleman I'm going to go ahead and introduce you all. You all know him. I'm not going to take his introduction away from him. Mr. Stu Large, can you come to the mic?
Yes, hello, Miss Thompson. How are you?
I am awesome.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I am an executive director with the company. I don't have a whole lot of time, but when I do have time, I commit 100%. This is the type of business where, you know, I tell my team that all you have to do is just talk about the product. If you talk about the product, because the products do work, you will be able to make an incredible amount of money, even if you are not a massive recruiter. The thing is, you just have to open your mouth about your business and the products that you have. And I have quite a few people on my team that are pretty heavy hitters when it comes to retailing the product.
Awesome, awesome. And that's what I love about our conversation, Mr. Large, is the fact that you actually, open my eyes to the possibilities out there with the retail aspect of the business. And, you all know him from, of course, the TV screens. I'm sorry, the TV screens as well as the movie screens. This man's not doing this because he's in need of anything. He actually loves what we have, and he's growing fast. His organization is moving fast. I mean, that shows in the level of success that he's seen in this company so far. But that's why I asked him to be on the panel, to also share some of those things with you all. But let me go ahead and get right into the training because I don't want to keep you all here all night. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to network marketing, we have a system that's pretty universal across the board when it comes to building and growing any business. We always talk about the system, the system, the system. What is the system? The system is referred to commonly as PS3 for short. That stands for piquing interest, sharing information, three-way closing. I'm telling you right now, if you get good at these 3 simple steps, which I will break down a little bit further, as well as ask these gentlemen too as well, if you get good at these 3 simple steps and you teach your team to do the same thing, watch how fast your organization will grow. A lot of us as leaders have said the same thing. Our teams are not calling us enough for three-way closes. And it is important, it is imperative that you do so. If you check the Team Elite group, I believe even in the files section, there's a document with a video that I did when I was in a previous company that says how the correct way to do a three-way close in network marketing. You know, it's proven to be a successful method in this industry. You know, one of the most successful methods in growing your team in this industry. So, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, if you're out and about and you want to pique somebody's interest, could you please give me an example of something that you would do to pique someone's interest? So who's going to step up? I got to call y'all out.
All right, well, I'll step up. This is Tony. But it's many different ways to pique an interest as I go about it. It just depends on the person uh, and the perception that they put off towards me. So, I'll start with a small conversation, or if there was anything you can change about yourself, what would it be? Uh, do you see yourself retire from your present job that you're on? Just anything to pique their interest for them to come back and ask me a question. I ask the open-ended question so that they have to ask me a question. So now that they're engaged in the conversation, now I know they're listening. Instead of me running to them and I'm just telling them, hey, I got this company. It's called Total Life Changes. You can make a lot of money. I don't even lead with the company. I lead with them, so I know where to take it from there. So you got to pique their interest. Exactly what it says. Pique their interest, not pique your interest. Pique their interest.
Wow, that's awesome. And I want you all to pay attention to something that Tony said. You know, he doesn't go into I'm got this company, it's this, it's that. Peak meaning just to give them enough to want for them to want more. Because what we have a habit of doing, because we know that we are the number one growing network marketing company, people love what we have, numbers don't lie. We have a tendency to want to throw up on people, meaning giving them too much information. It is not your job to sit there and over explain the business and over explain what you have on top, because people don't like to be sold, but they like to buy. So, like what Mr. Ganther said, my interest picker that has been working beautifully for me these days is, if there's one thing you could change about your health, what would it be? And I let them talk. And after they finish talking, I say, what else? And that's when you go into your next step, which is sharing. But Mr. Stularge, I would love to hear, how do you pique the interest of someone that you come in contact with?
Okay, what I do is I just keep it very, very simple. And from what I was taught, from the leaders in the very beginning when I started, if I'm in a line or at a store, I would just say simply, excuse me, do you know anybody that wants to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? Just that simple. And even if it's a bigger person, you don't want to come out to just say, hey, do you want to use, because it's kind of offensive. But if you ask them, do you know of anybody? And then after that, I follow up with a story. I'm taking this amazing product, and I have lost this, or I feel that way. Whatever the product is that you're trying to lead them to help better their life. But simply, who do you know, or excuse me, do you know of anyone who would like to lose 5 pounds in 5 days?
Very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Weight loss is what has caused our company to blow up to get to the point that it is right now. So after you pique their interest, your next step is to actually share the information. Again, you do not share information by overselling or overtelling. You have tools, systems, which is what you're learning, PS3, and tools, which is what I'm about to go over, are what build businesses. You have I believe, 13-minute video from Miss Tyler Portes. Awesome video. Explains the opportunity. We have a 5-minute video out there from Mr. Scott Bent, I believe his last minute. You can find it on his website. We have our own sizzle call. Excuse me. We have our own sizzle call from Team USA. It can be found at trainingtlcreps.com. And I'm directing you to these resources because I want you to know where to find this information. And some of this information is actually in the pinned post at the top of the Team Elite room, which many people have not opened. So I want to encourage you to go in there and grab that necessary information, because you should have it on you at all times. We have that 13-minute Team USA sizzle call, and we also have our own skin tea opportunity recorded call or on-demand call as well. That is your way of getting the information to the people's whose interest that you pique. And when you pique a person's interest, especially if you're out and about, listen, I'm going to explain it to you like one of my old business partners used to say to me. It's like you're trying to bag a chick. If you don't get the number, you lose. Get their phone number so at least you can always follow up with them and you don't leave the ball in their court. You want to stay in control of the situation at all time, and even if that person does not join, who's to say that they won't join today, won't not join today and join tomorrow? How can you stay in touch with that person if you have no method of contact with them? So you want to pique their interest and share the information. Of course, we have our live Skin Tea opportunity calls every night at 10 p.m. Eastern. How awesome is it that we have tens of thousands of people in our organization, and we have committed leaders that step up and do these calls every night at 10 p.m. for us for the benefits of our business. Take advantage of them. Use them and even get on them to learn some more about the business and how to do a presentation if you don't have any guests on. Moving right along to the three-way close. So ladies and gentlemen, you've heard us talk about three ways, but I don't know if you know this. There is a correct way to actually set up a three-way close. You have to learn the art of edification. Our coach and mentor, Ms. Stormy Wellington, says it all the time. You have to, you have to, you have to. That means you need to get to know your upline and your lifeline. You need to get good at telling their story. My upline and my sponsor is Mr. Daryl Drake. You asked me about Mr. Daryl Drake. I mean, not just because we've known each other a while. I can tell you, 26 years old, been in this industry making, six figures since he was, 19, 18 years old. He's built organizations into the tens of thousands. He's a national director with the company out of California. You want to basically sell the person on the speaker. That platform that you set for the person coming in to do your three-way can honestly do a lot more for that close than you not setting it up the correct way. And I don't know if I worded that correctly, but whatever. But if we're going to do a three-way close with someone, first of all, you want to go ahead and get that person exposed to the opportunity. Now, I always use this statement or something similar to it. If I had piqued Mr. Ganther's interest, which is Tony, I would say, hey, Tony, if I could send you, this 15-minute video that'll explain everything about total life changes, how soon can you watch it? Based on whatever time he tells me, if he says, I'll be free about 8:30, okay, great. I'm going to give you a call about 8:50 just to answer all of your questions. See, what I've done is I've scheduled my own follow-up. And I'm telling them I'm calling them to answer their questions. So I've nicely packaged it up, not coming across as being pushy or intrusive. So when I call Mr. Ganther up, the first step, of course, is to make sure that you schedule your follow-up. When I call Mr. Ganther up, I'm going to ask him one question and one question only. And this is where a lot of us, and I've done this in the beginning, talk ourselves out of a sale. Only question you need to ask him is, what did you like best about what you saw? Or what did you like best about what you heard? That's it. Don't ask him nothing else. Don't start explaining nothing. I don't care how well you know your products. This is not your position. You got to take it out of your hands and give it to an expert. Someone that you've edified as someone that's knowledgeable and making moves in this business. Whoever your plugged in upline is that is capable of doing your three-way close for you, this is where you leave room for them to come in. If you want to add a little extra, hey, that was awesome, was it? So what was your favorite part? That's it. And whatever they say to you is your favorite part too. So you're going to agree with them. Oh, the compensation plan. Listen, that was actually my favorite part too. And this is where I tell them to let that person know to hold on, because now you're going to call your three-way closer. Now your three-way closer, when you got that confirmation that you were going to follow up with this person, you should have let them know, hey, at about 8:50, I'm going to need you for a three-way. And that person's either going to let you know they're available. If they're unavailable, they're probably aren't going to respond, whatever. But you have time to line up that three-way. So I'm expecting your call to be coming in within those, 5 minutes, because you really shouldn't be talking that long. When you call your three-way closer, you're going to give them 2 bits of information: that person's name, as well as what their favorite part was about that video. You don't have to go into too much detail. If you want to say, single mom, whatever, that's fine, but just keep it quick because you don't want to keep your person on hold too long. So after you've told this person to hold on 1 second, which is something you do in normal conversation anyways, you're going to merge that three-way closer in. And you're going to merge that three-way closer in with the proper edification. So if I was edifying Tony, I would say, hey Ashley, I went ahead and got my I went ahead and did us both a favor. I got my business partner Tony Ganther on the line. This man, it is very busy, and I'm just honored that he had the time to get on the line to talk to us this evening. Listen, he's got a fast-growing organization nationwide. He's a director with this company, and he's been doing some amazing things out of Oklahoma with his team. This is the perfect person to answer all of those questions that you might have. You introduce them and you hush. You don't need to co-sign. You don't need to nothing. You just listen and you learn, because one day you're going to be Tony on that line. So once you do that three-way close, you hush and you let that person move them to the enrollment button. Me, if you're on the phone with me and you tell me you're ready to go right now, I'm going to ask you, are you in front of a computer? And if you're not in front of a computer, I'm going to say, oh, no problem. I'm actually in front of mine, and I'm going to get you in right on the spot. So guys, we have to get good at duplicating that system. What I just shared with you, how simple is that? Speaking their interest, sharing the information, taking it out of your hands and putting it in the hands of an expert. So this is why it's important for you to have a relationship with your upline. Not just your upline, your lifeline. Your lifeline meaning the person that actually sponsors your upline into the business. So that's the next thing that I wanted to touch on with you all, which is we got to get better at doing more lifelines. And I'm speaking for my organization. I don't know if you're experiencing this as well, leaders. In the event that you're able to close a person out and get them into the system without a three-way, they still need to know who their lifeline is, because you might be new to the business, or you might be busy and unable to help them one day. And to be honest with you, recruiting a person is easy, but what about getting them to go to work? You plug them into that expert, which if you're someone that Stu sponsored, you're going to plug them into Stu, and he's going to, give that guidance and give them instructions on what they need to do. The same way you would, but sometimes you just need him there to reiterate, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but basically you need to plug them into your upline. And the reason why you're plugging them into your upline, again, is for that person to have that additional support. It starts to see the team culture that they actually have, and also who they'll be reaching out to for help as well. It's not just you. See, what's happening is, and I'm talking about my organization in particular, is I see that sometimes, people are getting isolated. They don't realize how much help they have. They don't realize that, they can reach out to this leader as well. And, if they don't hear from their upline, they don't realize that you don't have to worry about that. You have somebody else here that can give you that necessary guidance. So that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you all about. Sorry, I'm going through my little list right now. Next thing that I wanted to mention, VGOs. I had a conversation with Miss Pam McCrae yesterday. We all know that Pam is the queen of VGOs. Like, she just churns them out. And I'm so impressed, and we got to start doing the same thing. Here's why. Amateurs join a business, professionals launch. We all need to develop that launch mentality. Matter of fact, while we're going into this 90-day blitz, we should all be planning to relaunch our businesses. If you have not made a list of 50 people, at least, I say 100 to be honest with you, this is the time to do so. And reach out to someone so we can do a virtual grand opening for you. This is a private call where you are highlighted, where you actually get to come on the line, host the call, share your story as to why you joined, and allow someone like myself or Mrs. Candace Bird Davis to really share this opportunity with people on your behalf. We're going to say things like position and timing, and so-and-so has such a large network, and they're giving you an opportunity to be the first one in before they open the floodgates. It's the whole psychology behind it. excuse me, if you have the opportunity to do a VGO, do one. Let's book one and let's get your business launched. And let's start doing that for the people that are coming into your organization as well. You all, when you're building your list, don't just sit there and look at the list. You got to actually go and work that list. You got to start dialing for dollars. So you can either do it with a VGO, and if you have a customer list, call those people and ask them, like Mr. Lars said, who do you know that wants to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? It may sound crazy, but it works. That phrase got me a lot of traffic in the very beginning. And to be honest with you, Mr. Large, I'm so happy that you brought that back to my memory, because that's one of the things that I need to go back to doing as well. And I can openly say and admit that. Secondly, you all, well, I don't know if this is secondly. Are we, when we're talking about this 90-day blitz, I had someone ask me about it today, so I just want to make sure that everyone is clear on what it is. The 90-day blitz is basically 90 days of all-out massive action, meaning that you have committed to give this business your all for 90 days. If you all have not seen it, go and look up Eric Worre and just type in 90-day game plan or 90 days to 90K, something to that effect. But it's a known fact that when you properly launch a business and you do so, effectively for 90 days straight, and you do the same thing with your team, magic can happen. Most professionals can tell you, these top earners, they can direct their success back to a 90-day blitz that they did when they first started their business. Most will do it once or twice a year. This is the perfect and opportune time to do so, meaning that you got to have a game plan. It's all about activity. How many people are you going to commit to exposing a day? I was on the phone with Mrs. Davis today, and we were talking about, just some of the things that we used to do when we were in the beginning. And it was like old times, because we were both sitting on the phone. I'll be honest with y'all, sometimes we weren't even talking, and you just hear her typing, and you hear me typing. That's what we did in the beginning. We were talking to 20, 30, 50 people a day sometimes. Seriously, I can go back to my inbox and show you all. We were making videos. I actually just recorded a video that I'm about to post. I may not like the way it looked, but I know that a lot of people that in my business came to me by videos. Mr. Large does a lot of recruiting from videos. I was in inboxes. You all have to make that commitment that even if you don't do 10 exposures daily, go connect with 10 new people on a daily basis. And 10 is the minimum, because I used to tell, my old organization, I used to tell them, if you ain't talking to 20, 50 people a day, don't complain about nothing, because you're not working hard enough. You don't want it bad enough. TLC is going to be a household name. We're well on our way to doing so. As you all can see, we are dominating every MLM, leaderboard, leader chart, whatever is out there, we're dominating it. So everybody's going to make money that's in this company. The question is, how much noise are you going to make? You got to look at it like real estate, okay? How much TLC real estate do you want to have out there? How many, posting groups are you willing to do? How many videos are you willing to do? What are you going to do on Instagram? What are you going to do to get the traffic up coming to you? Because obviously, the more seeds that you plant, the bigger the harvest. So I might be saying 10, but 10 honestly should be a minimum for a lot of us. And another thing I wanted to touch to you all is stop trying to sell. We just talked about sharing information. These products sell themselves. You just have to learn how to share them correctly. And this goes into what I wanted to talk to you all about next. Gentlemen, Mr. Large, let me start with you, because I know that you have some products, that you keep in your back pocket that you're very good at sharing. If you don't mind getting on the hangout and sharing with the team, what is it that you do, what products, you're seeing a lot of retail volume from, and how you're sharing it.
Yes, ma'am. I especially wanted to implement to my team that when we did have the tea hiatus, that you still could make a very decent weekly income. I wanted products that can move quickly. We have a lot of products that last for a month, but then that person won't return for a month. So I started, and some members of my team started moving a lot of the Strike Up and the Love, because those are products that people could order weekly. And that was very important that they were able to do that. because you have to understand, if you get 25 people into your organization as customers and they order it weekly, you will then have $1,000 a week residual income.
Wow, did he say $1,000? Mr. Large, I might need you to teach me your marketing secrets because an extra $1,000 just from retail, that would be awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, Strike Up is the number two seller in our company for a reason. As you know, one of the big leaders that actually just launched over here, sex can be an addiction if it's done right. So don't be scared to have that conversation. Now, Mr. Ganther, Tony out of OKC, I want you to go ahead and, share again, the retail aspect of it. What has been working for you?
Ms. Thompson, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Large.
No, forgive me. No, my computer went out. I don't know if you're still talking to me. Back on. Forgive me.
Okay. Well, I know our T just hit back, but like as far as on like Mr. Large said earlier about the lose 5 pounds in 5 days, uh, I pushed a lot of the tea, and I just I just broke into the avenue of selling the strike up. I ordered I had 18 packs, well 18 capsules, and I just hit a couple barbershops, and now my phone rings every day, and I can't even get it off my site. So it's one of them things. It's like he said, that's something that they're gonna buy on a weekly basis, or even the way I'm doing it. I'm buying it, breaking it down, and selling it one by one, hand to hand. So I'm not getting as many uh, binary points out of it by them going, but at the same time, it's still giving me a retail commission from hand to hand of, a couple $100 every 2 or 3 days. So, you know, the strike up and the love, like you said, sex has been selling and it continues to sell. So if you ain't been selling the strike up and love, you missing out. Total life changes. Like I say, we known as the ISOT, lose 5 pounds in 5 days, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the sexual enhancement industry performance. So just keep that in mind, and don't be ashamed to talk about it.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. The general consensus needs to says that we need to sell more strike up. But I completely agree with them. And of course, like the Nutriburst, I talk about the Nutriburst a lot because it's not hard to go and find somebody that needs a vitamin. But again, like Mr. Lars said, that's one of those products that they're going to buy and you're probably not going to hear from them for another 30 days. And that's why you all really should be writing down the names of your customers. Keep your own customer acquisition report so you can follow up with your customers, and especially if the customer loves the product, this is an avenue or an opportunity for you to put them on an auto ship for the very product that they love, even though they may not want to work the business, just so they know that their product is always coming. Now, something else that these gentlemen didn't come out and directly say that I want to point out, inventory. It is very important that you have inventory, especially with the amount of momentum that we are already experiencing and we're about to experience. I know that the tea is not going anywhere. But, those summer slim down packages, I believe it's called, and forgive me if I just butchered the name, if you can do so, it is to your benefit that you actually go and order a couple of those. The resolution is now $80, but everyone knows it as, $100 item. So why can't you sell your resolution for $100? The NRG pills, they're like crack addicts in Orlando when it comes to the NRG pills. And yes, somebody asked me, you can forward this out to your team. This was for everyone who can make it to get on. And of course, the tea, diiso tea. We were selling it for $15 a pack. Some still sell it for $15 a pack. Some are selling it for $20 a pack. I wouldn't recommend that you do much more than that, but you could make your money back and then some. Or, even when you're introducing somebody to the business, tell them to grab themselves an accountability partner or retail the half of the products that they're not using, because that's more money that they can automatically put back into their pocket. I think I've touched on basically everything that I wanted to share. Wow, we got through this pretty fast.
Mr.
Um, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
Okay, I just, while we're on that, it's very important that we as IBOs use of the product, order the product. You have to be a part of the product and have the product be a part of you. I can tell you all about the NRG. I can tell you all about the NutriBurst. I can tell you all about the tea. I can tell you all about the resolution. I can tell you all about the ISO oil. You have to be a product of the product, because let me tell you something. You're going to talk to people, and if you don't know we have a product that that can help them or to help ease what they're going through, you're going to lose out. But I'm going to find them, or somebody's going to find them, because what happens is if you tell someone, well, you know what, I don't like tea. Well, we have a Delgada that has the exact same slimming properties. The only difference is the detox. People are, okay, well, I'll try the coffee. Another thing with the NutriBurst, I drink 2 capfuls a day, every single day. You would not look at my refrigerator and not find the NutriBurst, because I know I don't eat properly. But that NutriBurst helps to give me that energy, and it also helps to suppress the appetite. So after you get that person that month bottle, after the 5th or 6th day, you need to call them. Listen, I just wanted to check in to see how you like the product. And because what happens is people, oh, I feel good, or I feel great. Wonderful. Who else do you know that might want to get this, incredible product? Because would you do me a favor? Would you mind giving them a call for me and tell them I'm going to call? Because, see, that's handed to you on a silver platter once they have a call from a friend or family member or whoever that is able to call for you. This way they're expecting your call, and they're looking forward to that call, because they're going to respect that person's opinion versus you just calling cold. All right? As far as your inventory, folks, yes, some of the folks that, and us as leaders, we have people that join for $40. That's great. But think about it. If you open your McDonald's and you had 4 hamburgers for the whole month, you're probably not going to be in business very long. So you have to reinvest in your business. And what you can do, all right, I'm going to give you a little technique that I give my team, and I hope you all are writing this down. You can pre-sell any product that you want. Let's just take the tea, because everybody wants the tea. You can get a site, or you can even send a PayPal invoice. So if someone says, I want tea, I want tea. All right, so let's say over the weekend you sold 10 packs of tea, which is $200. Monday morning, you can go and order $200 worth of tea. Now, we've already know you've made $100 off of that, and you still have an additional $100 to make your money back. So now you sell those 20 packs of tea that you just ordered. Well, now that's $400. So now you got the $400 in cash, act like you don't have it. Now you order 40 packs of tea, or 30 or 5, whatever it comes out to, and you have a weekly income. In addition to that, a little thing that I do, it's called, I was taught this in the beginning as well, it's called retail to recruit. Let the person try the product. And what I do is I kind of get them ready. I say, listen, after you get this tea and you see some results, I have a spot for you on my team, because I'm sure you know other folks that want to get healthy and make money. So after they get the tea, after the 7th or 8th day, I call them, how is it working for you? And they will then say, you know what, I'm feeling this way, or I'm feeling that way. But it is very important that when we sell this tea, put the emphasis on it's a detox first. It is not a weight loss tea. If the weight loss happens to come off, that is an added benefit, or part of the detox while you're detoxing. Another thing is with the women, they might not notice the weight comes off as fast, but they might notice it in inches. I have someone in my downline who didn't notice the weight or the inches, but she said, you know what, I had boils on my skin. After the 2nd day, my boils went away. So remember, again, it is a detox, so you can sell that the benefit of the detoxing of your body, because if you eat fish, if you eat chicken, pork, beef, whatever, anything that was living does it has bacteria, it has parasites. So you definitely want to put an emphasis on that, okay? And again, if you don't have money to get the inventory, pre-sell the inventory, send out PayPal invoices. When they pay it, now you have money to go into your back office, order the product, deliver it, and you have money to you have just jump started your business.
Wow, that was awesome, Stu. I'm telling you right now, like I hope y'all are getting these nuggets that he just shared with you all, because this is stuff that really does work. When I first started this business, I'm just being completely transparent with you all. All I had was $100 to get started, and the way he just broke it down to you is what a lot of people have to do in the beginning to basically hustle and work themselves up to a position to where they can order more income, inventory, and have more income coming into their pockets. Now, Mr. Ganther, you are still on the line. I wanted to know if there was anything that you wanted to add to what you just heard.
Now, Mr. Large, he covered basically everything, as far as you got to put back into your business. A lot of people that they come in, even when we had the bigger packages than tea, they come in with 300 packs of tea. They sell them, but then they spend the money as they made it. Now, you can't go back and reorder inventory. You got to keep your inventory up, because without inventory, like you said, you really don't have a company. So, and like I said, I picked up a couple nuggets with the PayPal. Pre-sell it, and make an order every 2 to 3 days in your back office. So I appreciate that, Mr. Large. You know, uh, and always remember, you're never too big to learn anything. You're never too. You got to be humble, and you can learn from the biggest to the smallest people.
Very true, very true. Don't hesitate to reach out to those people that you see moving with the business, even though they might have just started. A real leader knows that you can learn from anybody. So thanks again for sharing that information with us. I know Mrs. Davis was going to hop on, but I think that she's still in the middle of her launch call. So let's just talk about activity real quick, gentlemen. Again, for the 90-day blitz, my plan is a video a week. Y'all can hold me accountable. God, even though I hate doing videos because that means I have to comb my hair. My second thing is to touch at least a minimum of 10 people per day, but there is going to be days where I might touch 20, and there might be days that I touch 50. We'll see how that works out. Also, get back to getting in people's inboxes. Listen, it's not always about making that sale right away. It's about building a relationship, because you got to remember, when people like you and trust you, they'll do business with you. If you're willing to put yourself in front of that person and show a genuine interest in who they are, conversation is either going to lead to an opportunity for you to introduce them to this, or they're going to be more willing to at least come to your Facebook page and check out what it is that you're doing. And that's another thing I wanted to share with you all. If you're going to be marketing via internet, you got to have some good content on your page. Don't expect anybody to take you seriously as a business owner when you're not even talking about your business. I'm not saying that you have to flood your timeline with ISOT, ISO NRG. No. But give people a reason to at least want to ask you, what do you have going on? Are you promoting the calls, the wake up and win calls, the opportunity calls? And different strokes for different folks. So there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, but I'm telling you what I know is simple, what we were taught, and what I know actually works. And also, you'll probably see me posting in some Facebook groups like I did in the beginning. Now those are my activities. And gentlemen, Mr. Large, one thing about him, you would never believe it, he does a lot of things behind the scenes in regards to this business, and it just amazes me how much time and effort he really puts into it, even though he says he only does it on a part-time basis. So, Mr. Large, share some of your activities that have actually been working for you.
Okay, I am a big believer in connecting with people. It is just so important. You guys have to remember, and I'm not knocking social media, but long before there was a social media, there were people making millions of dollars in Amway. in
Mm.
Tupperware, in Mary Kay, in Avon, and they did it all with direct connections of people. So now we fast forward to 2015, and yes, we have social media. So use that to enhance your business, but don't get away from talking to people. I use social media. I'm a big YouTube believer. Whatever you're doing, in fact, I think the last 3 or 4 people in the last few days that I put in my organization, I couldn't even welcome them to the Facebook group because they're not on Facebook. You will be surprised how many people aren't still into social media. So therefore, I would have lost these people because they don't have a Facebook, they don't have a Twitter, they don't have an Instagram, but they'll go on YouTube. Whatever you do, and it doesn't have to be anything glorious. All you have to do is just, is, hey, today's a great day. I'm in the park. I'm hanging out. Or, hey, I'm at the store shopping, whatever. Talk to your people. Because, see, when I was looking for a leader, and my sponsor is Candice Bird Davis, and I thank her so much because, see, I'm real funny. If I go to look for something and a person has 1 video, 2 videos, I'm thinking, they're probably new. They don't know that much. But Candace had a lot of content, so it made me feel, okay, well, she probably knows about this industry, and she's probably good at what she does. And I researched her more, and I'm thankful that I made the decision that I made. So you guys have got to get your video game up, and you have to get your face-to-face talking to people up. Because, again, there are so many people that haven't even heard about this product. So as long as you are trying to connect with them offline, and because they have a person that they can call or they can talk to if they have a question versus following a link. It's very important in building your organization.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Stu. Tony, activities. Talk to me.
Well, Miss Fadia, you know me. I'm just getting. I'm about like Stu. I'm a face to face. I talk. I meet no strangers. Uh, I'm just really getting into social media myself. I'm told to do some videos. I'm told to do this, but so far I've had the success that I've had from face to face, from meeting people, from you know the handshake, from the excitement they see within myself because of the fact that the products do work. You know, having the story to tell with the product. Don't over exaggerate it. Don't go too far, but let them know that these products are truly working. You know, uh, don't sell TLC. The activity is to sell them the opportunity, and not just the money opportunity, because even the customer, it's the opportunity that this Gano and this Chaga can help let your body heal itself. You know, like you said, we can't make any medical claims on anything we do. So, like when it comes to the Chaga and the Gano, uh, the Nutraburst, like I say, we've been a big pusher over in my organization with the Nutraburst while the tea was gone, because every household needs it. The activity of telling people, hey, do you get the right amount of vitamins? So that's them is the things that I do, uh, and I'm trying to get into the social media more to add it as a something else in my repertoire. But like I said, me personally, I'm one that I like to get out. I'm gonna see you at the service station pumping gas, and I'm gonna introduce myself and I'm gonna talk to you. You know, I might not even talk to you about the business. We might just talk about life and just the activity of knowing that somebody else is out there doing well, if somebody's out there that cares, and then they want to ask you, what is it you do? And then it opens up that wave of conversation. So, like I said, but look out for me here in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna start doing some videos on YouTube. Uh, I've been posting a little bit on Facebook. I just haven't really got the response. I don't know. I really don't know what response I'm looking for, but it's been slow. But like I said, it hasn't stopped me because I'm still doing what's been working, and that's getting out in traffic, that face to face. But activity wise, like I said, I've seen a lot. I got a couple people in my organization that build strictly from Facebook, so I can't knock either one of them. So they work if you work. So it just takes time, and everybody can grow at a different pace.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And he is so right, y'all. When I first met this man, it was like he was a ghost because I couldn't get him on Facebook to do nothing. And to see him making these posts and just tagging, tagging me in his events that he's doing, his home events, that's a big step, which just shows that he wants to, he's taking heed of what he's learning as well to expand his business into areas that he might not be able to physically touch. So we've actually given you all a lot to work with this evening. I know that Mrs. Davis, she may not be able to make it on here before we wrap this thing up. She wanted me to mention one thing, which is for all of you all that are going to convention. If you are in need of our room, in need of a room, Elite Pierre, who's a director within our organization, still has, give me one second, 14 hotel rooms. He has a block that he actually locked out for us, and he has them at a good rate. So if anyone is in need of a room, please contact Elite or contact one of us so we can get you in touch with him. He has 14 hotel rooms for anyone that needs him to reserve a room for them. And also, we have a raffle this evening. I really hope you guys are on the hangout for nothing else for this raffle. We are giving away a fire starter ticket tonight. Tonight. The stipulation is whoever goes into their back office, you can't do it as a customer, you cannot do it as a new sign up, goes into their back office and places an order for, drumroll, a 4-pack of ISO tea, meaning you go into your back office, you select order, and you select new order, you add that bad boy to cart, and you cash it out, and yes, your uplines will be checking. You will be entered in a raffle to get your fire starter ticket paid for. It's $169 value. It will cover all of your events for the Total Life Changes corporate event taking place in Hotlanta next month, actually about 30 days out now. So again, please take advantage of the raffle. I'm not even going to ask y'all, please do. I'm seeing if I can get in the raffle. So, place an order for a 4-pack of ISO tea. Ladies and gentlemen, we just talked about retail. You can turn around and sell that tea for $80 easily. So you're putting that money right back into your pocket, profit in your hands, and the chance to win a fire starter ticket. Make sure you show proof of the order that you've actually placed. Your uplines will be verifying, and Mrs. Davis is going to handle all of the drawings. I'm going to look over my notes one more time. Gentlemen, was there anything that you wanted to add to what we went over this evening?
I think that I pretty much covered it. Thank you so much for having me on the panel this time.
No. Awesome. No, don't thank me. Thank you. I actually got a lot out of what you said. You kind of nudged me on a few things and opened my eyes to a couple of things that I haven't. Thank you so much for getting on such short notice. And gentlemen, you did an amazing job considering that we didn't even rehearse this, talk about this beforehand. Mr. Ganther, did you want to add anything to what was just said?
No, like you said, we covered everything. But can I go in my back office and order some tea and be entered in this, or that it don't count for me?
Call me. What I think about it.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you once again so much for coming on. I really hope that you all had gotten some information out of this. If you like this hangout, go ahead and send these guys a thank you, man, because again, they didn't have to do this. They hopped on here on such short notice. This was virtually unplanned, but we just wanted to make sure that we got this information out to the team because this is information that can be used to grow. The recording will be placed up in the group shortly. Go ahead and shoot it out to the members of your organization. Thanks once again. Everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.